were the ones who made it through on time. So it wasn't quite in that order. We'll move up now for the men's double scull.
Yeah. This is the start list for Heat 1, and I think one of the things that will be so interesting is to see the Palestinian double in first lane. I think that's probably the first time we've seen a Palestinian double at this year's World Championship, any World Championship, not just this year's World Championships. So it's a replay of the start. On the far side is Palestine, then Moldova, Great Britain, Portugal, with a fantastic under-23 gold medal, Spain and Sweden. But it is the British double who showed how fast they were at Lucerne, Greg, in the heats and semis. Didn't really deliver in the latter stages of the regatta, but they've gone away. They weren't bothered. They went away to altitude, Hayward and Knight, and they're flying.
As you say, this British double are flying, Hayward and Knight. They were 5th in Lucerne, but Josh Knight making his debut then at Lucerne. They went on and raced at Henley Royal Regatta. Here they are, charging down the centre of the course. We talk about what you do in the 6 or 7 weeks building up to the World Championships. Looks like they've moved on nicely. Spain are with them, and but the British crew clearly in control.
Just want to say a word about Younis and Galani, the Palestinian double at the back, coached by Alan Sinclair, the British gold medalist. There are the Palestinians, and in the stroke seat, Ryan Galani, who got Sinclair to coach them. His goal is to become Palestine's first ever Olympic rower. He's of Palestinian and Irish, would you believe, descent. He also has a learning disability, doesn't come from money. So his rowing has really been all him through the public school system. Great story. They are right at the back of the field at the moment.
Yeah, great story, that one. And here at the front of the field, we've got the British double. One important thing to tell you that I don't think we've made totally clear is that in this, it's an even bigger entry in the men's double. So we've actually got 5 heats, and we're going to have quarter-finals. So not quite so much pressure on the positions here. I'll tell you, the top 2 in each of these heats go directly to the quarter-final. They know they're in, and then the next 14 will join them. So there's not many crews being eliminated.
Shot there of Ivan Korsunov, 25-year-old, broke his arm at the beginning of the season and had to find ways of training with a broken arm. And I know, because I've tried to do it with him, your brother Johnny Searle had the same thing just before British trials, before the 2000 Olympics.
Yeah, very difficult to deal with an injury like that, and how you try to keep the body working. If it's something like an arm, then there'll be a lot of time on the bicycle, a lot of time on the static bike, I would imagine. But again, the British up in the front of the field, that Spanish double going nicely with them. And this one really is very spread out across the field.
Yeah, it is a spread out field. I think what I'm surprised about is the Portuguese double are not in front of the Moldovans. They had a great Lucerne. They were kind of up there with a chance of making the final. They didn't quite make the final, but that Moldovan double, it's really interesting. They were back in the Varese Europeans. I saw them there in the middle of the B final, but now Bulat and Korsunov ahead of the Portuguese, who took gold at the under-23s, Rodriguez and Neves, have come here feeling really good about their rowing.
Yeah, the Portuguese, coached by John West, like you say, they got that gold at the under-23s. They got 9th at Lucerne. So this is certainly a bit of surprise for them. And there'll be some thinking going on. Some conversations will probably be had after this heat when they think about where they're going to go next. They should still make it into the quarterfinals.
Yeah, and I think Hortopombo and Conde Romero that we're looking at there, I mean, these are a really top quality double. Got a silver medal at the Europeans in Varese, and I think it's a measure of how well this British double and how fast they're going, Greg.
Yeah, very good for the British double to be in control of the Spanish as they are. They'll be really pleased there. Matt Hayward in the bow seat. You see him just sharing a few words, just a couple of quiet calls as they bring it down here in control towards the line.
Yeah, and Scott Fransden, the Cal Bears coach, will thank me for mentioning that Josh Knight is, of course, a Cal Bear as he crosses the finish line at a very gentle pace. Well done to Great Britain. Spain confirm their second place. Hortopombo and Conde Romero. It is a great scull from Moldova, Bulat and Korsunov. And then the Portuguese quite as fluent as we saw them in Duisburg at the under-23s, but they head the Swedes, Brote and Alfredsson.
Well, it shows just how much it takes it out of you. We were saying, you know, they're in good control, that British combination, but still when they crossed the line, you could see how much they were hurting. You could see how much they've needed to put in just to be this clean and this connected. It is still a decent headwind. We sit here in the commentary box, you look at these pictures, and it looks like a good sunny day here in Amsterdam. But out on the Bosbaan, there's a solid headwind blowing, and the rowers are working hard to get that boat all the way down the course as they do.
Confirmation that Britain did win that, the only boat under 7 minutes, Spain in second.